YouTube? We are back here again with another video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so excited about this video. Like, we're just gonna get straight into it. So before we get into it, I want to ask you one question. I want to know if you could be in any state of being, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, what state of being would you be in? Would you be calm? Would you be happy? Would you be excited? Would you be extroverted? Would you be social? Would you be grateful? Would you be grounded? How do you want to feel? Because in today's video, I'm going to let you know how I got out of survivor's mode. But it's important that you figure out, number one, what mode would you rather be in? A lot of times, we know the bad feelings we're experiencing. And when we're going through those things, we are not clear on what we would rather be experiencing. Okay, it's obvious you don't want to experience heartbreak. But on the flip side, there are a lot of positive emotions that you could want to experience that's opposite of heartbreak, and they're all not the same. So for example, if you just got your heart broken, you might want to experience forgiveness. But then again, you might want to experience self-trust. Then again, you might want to experience that butterflies that you felt when you meet somebody else. Then again, you might want to experience self-forgiveness because maybe you did something that is causing the end of the relationship, or maybe you feel like you could have chose a better partner, or maybe you feel like you could have done something different. So while we're in survivor's mode, or while we're getting out of survivor's mode, it's important to, number one, think about what mode would you rather be in. That's what I had to do. I had to think about, what am I experiencing and what would I rather be experiencing right now? For me, I was experiencing a lot of anxiety. For me, I was experiencing a lot of feeling like things are out of my control. I was feeling like things were happening and the only thing I could do is respond to those things. There wasn't really a way for me to be proactive because I'm a planner. I like to plan things because planning relieves me of my anxiety. So when things are happening that I don't plan for, and when things are happening that now I have to come up with creative solutions off the top of my mind, that brings me anxiety. So I had to think, okay, I'm in an anxious state of mind right now. Where would I rather be? I would rather be clear. I would rather be experiencing clarity. I would rather be experiencing some kind of joy, some kind of relief, knowing that, okay, I may be in the storm right now, but the storm is not going to last forever. I also wanted to experience comfort. I wanted to experience comfort in knowing that no matter how hard this storm gets, I'm built for this. That's what October is about this month for me. If you don't know, you don't know. But I did talk about it on Instagram. This month is, I'm built for this. And so for me, it was very important for me to feel a place of comfort, a place of security, a place of reassurance and self-awareness that no matter what happens, I am built for this and I'm going to continue to build my empire by any means. So number one, the first thing that you want to do when you are stuck in survivor's mode and you're trying to get out is figure out where you would rather be. A lot of times we don't know where we would rather be. We just know that we would not want to be here if we had the choice. The reason why you have to figure out where you would rather be is because you cannot get there if you don't know where you're going. If you want to go to the Bahamas and you don't get on the flights to go, you're not going to go. You don't know you want to go to the Bahamas, so you don't know what flights you need to get on, therefore you can't go. Sometimes when we don't make a decision, we place limits on ourselves simply because we don't make a decision. What do you want to eat? I don't know, then you don't eat. It's literally that simple. Like, anybody ever ask you what you want to eat and you're like, I don't know, and you're still hungry? They're not getting you any food. They're not even like on the way to get you any food. They're not even on the way to get you any food because you have not made a decision on where you want to eat. And because you have not made a decision, you're not going to eat, sis. You're going to be hungry. Or, on the flip side, you don't know where you want to eat and you end up having to eat somewhere you don't want to eat because you never made a decision on where you wanted to eat. And sometimes when we get stuck in survivor's mode, what happens is that things look different. But just because things look different doesn't mean things feel better. And what I mean by that is if you don't decide what mode you want to be in, you can be placed in another mode, right? But who's to say that mode is how you want to feel? Who's to say that mode gives you thoughts and feelings and experiences that feel good? I may not be feeling anxious anymore, but I may be feeling overwhelmed. I may be feeling overburdened. I may be feeling like life is starting to overcomplicate itself. And even though those feelings are not feelings stemming from anxiety, those are still feelings that do not feel good to me. Those are still feelings that I would not want to feel and I would not choose to feel. So the first thing that you need to do, which is what I did, was I decided, how did I want to feel? Because how I wanted to feel was going to guide what I did, because my actions would be in alignment with the thing that I wanted to feel. Number 2, I had to give anxious thoughts a place to go. When you are in survivor's mode, your mind is literally going a mile a minute. Literally. You're thinking the worst, you're thinking the best, and you're thinking everything in between. Sometimes when you're trying to like meditate and like really quiet your mind, or when you're trying to pray, you ever feel like you just can't shut up? Like, shut up! That's how you feel sometimes. Like, you're trying to talk to God, or you're trying to meditate, and all these thoughts start coming up. And a lot of times they're random thoughts too. Like, who decided ketchup and mustard went together? Like, why is that important? Why is that an important question right now? You're trying to meditate and you're asking yourself, who decided ketchup and mustard go together? And then who was the oddball that thought adding relish and beans and coleslaw on top of that was going to make it any better? What I do is I give anxious thoughts a place to go. And what really helps me do this is I will record a video. I'll record it on my phone with my camera, or I'll record it on the voice recorder app, where you can just record your voice. And every anxious thought that I have, I'll say it out loud until I don't have any more. And what ends up happening is you start to see that a lot of the anxious thoughts that you have, like worst case scenario, what if this happens? What if this person says this? What if this person says that? A lot of times you say it out loud and you realize just how unrealistic that is. You realize just how goofy that thought is. You realize that that thought did not deserve to make you feel that anxious, that complex, that overcomplicated, that stressed. Like, that thought was an unnecessary thought. And you have to give anxious thoughts a place to go, because a lot of times we will hold on to these thoughts in our mind, and then one day we just explode. Or one day you try to pray and you try to meditate, and all of these different anxious thoughts are coming up, and you're like, where is this even coming from? And it's like, you've been having them, but now they need somewhere to go. So the second thing that I do is I give anxious thoughts a place to go. And I end up feeling so much better, because now I can quiet my mind. Now I can clear my mind, because every anxious thought I had, even if it's not an anxious thought, even if it's just a random thought, give it somewhere to go. Because within this moment, when you're in survivor's mode, you're looking for some kind of peace, some kind of serenity, some kind of silence. And when you have people around you, the last thing that you need is people to be in your ear, and then you're in the other side of your ear too. So they talking to you talking to you, and you can't quiet your mind. You can't silence yourself for a minute. You can't get grounded, because it's too much talking. It's too much background noise. It's too many people with too many different thoughts, questions, comments, and concerns, including yourself, that are not serving you within this moment. So number 2, give anxious thoughts a place to go. Number 3, I shared what I was thinking to complete strangers. So as you guys know, I have a weekly newsletter that I send out every week, and I give out free tips and advice, kind of like what I do in my videos, just in a newsletter. And I don't post any of the things that I talk about in a newsletter on Instagram or on my channel or anything like that, because the objective is for you to sign up for the newsletter, which you should do, by the way. Anyways, I told them what I was experiencing. I told them how I was feeling. I told them different things that were going on, and I shared with them 5 more tips on how to get out of survivor's mode that are not listed within this video. And what I did was I gave myself an outlet, because I'm not one of those people that, I'm not going to go on Instagram and like tell you everything that's going on in my life. I'm not seeking approval. I'm not seeking validation, and I'm not seeking reassurance a lot of times. And if I am, I usually get it from the people that are around me or the people that are within my immediate circle, just because I'm kind of like a private person. Like, I'm an open book and a private person at the same time. So what I did was I told complete strangers, people that I've never met, what was going on. And what that did was it didn't make me feel like I was seeking validation or approval or reassurance, because I'm encouraging them on what they're going through at the same time. And I'm not telling you this for you to help me. I'm telling you this to let you know that you're not alone. I'm telling you this to let you know that despite what you see on social media, I go through things too. So let me be transparent with you and let you know that the things that you're going through, you're not going through those things alone. And sometimes we find comfort in knowing that other people are going through what we're going through too. Or we find comfort in knowing that our story is what somebody thinks about when they're going through an obstacle and when they're experiencing hardships. They think about how we handled it. They think about what we did. And that's very impactful. That's very inspiring. So as I was saying, I think it's very important for you to be able to share your story and share your testimony while you're going through it. And I think that a lot of times we always wait till after it's over for us to share our testimony. We always wait till after we come out of the struggle to decide that it's worth hearing, it's worth caring about, it's worth people knowing about. Let people know now. Even if it's not pretty, even if it's not ideal, even if you're not proud of it, let people know now. Because when you elevate and when you go beyond that, people will be able to look back and continue to be inspired by you and continue to watch you and really be drawn to you, because your issues are real, your issues are relatable, and they deserve to be heard. So the fourth thing that I did was I created a product that I wanted to become an environment of. I think that when you're in survivor's mode, you don't want to be a sitting duck. So what I did was I knew that my senses would be heightened, because that's just my body's way of protecting me and trying to watch out for any danger or harm or anything like that, even though like I'm not in the jungle or anything like that. But anyways, a perfect way for you to become a product of your environment is think about what feeling do you want to feel and then create an environment surrounded by that. So I wanted to feel clarity. I wanted to feel peace. I wanted to feel comfort. So within my environment, I made sure that things were organized. I made sure that I light incense. I made sure that I spray rose water in the air, like air freshener, so my room could smell like rose water. I made sure that I had relaxing music playing. I made sure that my bed was made after I got out of the bath. I made sure that things were organized. I made sure that the incense I was burning, the smell invigorated my room. Like, I wanted to feel like I was at a spa. I wanted to feel like I was at a sauna. So that's the type of environment I created. And creating that type of environment made being in survivor's mode stand out. Not in a good way. When you are mad and you get around a bunch of other happy people, it's almost impossible for you to stay mad, because you don't want to be that one person that's bringing everybody else down, right? So when you're creating this environment, it's almost like you don't fit in when you're in survivor's mode. And that's the point. The point is to get you out of survivor's mode. So if I would have came in here anxious and stuff, it kind of would have been like, why are you anxious? Like, why are you acting like that? Why are you so unedged? Why are you so uneasy? Relax. Let your shoulders down. Live, smile, laugh, because that's what the environment is intended for you to do in order for you to get out of survivor's mode. So create an environment that you want to be a product of. If you want to feel happy, create a happy space. Have a high vibrational space. Eat foods and fruits and drinks and luxury and anything that makes you happy. Create that kind of environment so that way you can reflect feelings of happiness as you're going about getting out of survivor's mode. And so the last thing that I did was I decided that losing was not an option for me. And so because losing was not an option for me, I did not lose sleep over dead sheep. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you know you're going to kill your opponent, you're not going to stay up all night waiting on them to come, listening out for footsteps. Like, that's not you don't sound too confident. You sound like you need to be on the edge. You need to be uneasy because you don't trust your ability to do it when you're not. I trust my ability. I trust the ability that God has planted in me, and I trust God. So if there were problems that I was presented with, I knocked my problems out. and whatever problems I couldn't knock out, I dealt with them the next day. I slept good because I did not lose sleep over dead sheep. I slept good because I knew that even if I didn't have the solution right now, the solution will come to me. I knew that what I'm going through right now, being in survivor's mode, that was not going to be the end of me. That was not going to be the end of my empire. That was not going to be the end of me going after my dreams. It was going to be another obstacle for me to jump over. And that's how I approached the situation. So whatever I could do, I did it. And whatever I couldn't fully handle within that moment, I said, okay, I'm going to sleep on it. Get up and knock it out the next day. Or the day after that. Or the day after that. Because I'm not in survivor's mode. I'm thriving. I'm in a season of thriving. I'm in a mode of thriving. I'm built for this. And so because I don't need to lose sleep over that sheep. And so when you are in survivor's mode, you don't need to lose sleep over whatever makes you feel like you're in survivor's mode right now. Get you some sleep. Do you think soldiers go to the military and they're like, oh my gosh, we can't sleep because what if they drop a bomb on us? They get their rest because they know that rest is a part of their performance. And if you cannot perform well because you're tired, that automatically makes you a sitting duck because you're not at the peak of your performance. When we are building our empires, we want to be at the peak of our performance. And when we come down, we're coming down with grace. We're not coming down because we lost. We're coming down with grace because we're re-upping. We're just getting started. We're leveling up. So while you are in survivor's mode, it's very important that you do these things because the goal is to get you out of survivor's mode. The goal is to get you building. The goal is to get you happy, thriving, feeling supported, feeling community, feeling peaceful, feeling joy, not feeling stressed, not feeling like you lost, not feeling uneasy, not feeling like you don't have clarity. You deserve to feel how you want to feel. But the first step is deciding how do you want to feel. So that is going to conclude the end of this video. I am so happy to be able to talk to you guys, share my journey on how I got out of survivor's mode with you. And I hope that you find these tips helpful. I want to know, what feelings do you currently want to feel right now? What state of mental and physical and emotional well-being do you want to feel right now? Is it happy, safe, comfort, reassurance, commitment, whatever it is? Let me know in the comments what it is. And I can't wait to see you guys in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.